everybody, and welcome to the 28th episode of Growing Up Geek, the weekly podcast for geek entertainment and nostalgia. My name is Brad, and I am joined, as always, by my brother Matt, my tired brother Matt, and my brother Rob.
That's me.
There he is. You guys are pretty out of it this week. What's going on?
Well, Rob's literally out of it, as in out of town.
Yeah, New York.
Yeah.
Not the cities, near Jersey.
Right, in the middle of like a big thunderstorm. I
guess.
guess.
Yeah. I'm up here visiting my girlfriend for our 1 month, whatever that is, not anniversary because that's a year, but
yeah.
Our 1 month anniversary.
Cool.
Well, isn't that special?
And yeah, I'm hearing thunder outside and stuff like that, so you might hear that on the recording.
How was your week, Rob?
My week's been okay. I've been noticing these ads for Mountain Dew, like 3 new flavors.
Yes.
And what you're supposed to do is pick up one of these things, drink it, and then vote for it at Dewmocracy.com.
Ooh.
That's not a plug, because I'm going to tell you now, so far I've had 2 of these 3 flavors, and they taste like melted ices. I bought like a whole 20 ounce of one of these drinks, took a few sips, and I had decided, all right, I know I don't like this drink, and was very much ready to vote. And it makes me wonder why they don't just like sell like an 8 ounce drink of it. If our purpose is to decide, which of these drinks, probably they shouldn't sell like full portions.
I mean, maybe they just mean for you to spread your consumption out a bit and, take a week instead of maybe a day to decide.
Try those out. Matt, how was your week?
My week was all right so far. I am the one that's out of it physically. Just a good bit of hard work. But I did have a very exciting thing happen because, for one, exciting for all of us because our good buddy Jason was married.
Yes, we all got to be groomsmen.
Congratulations, Jason and Lindsay.
Yes.
But additionally, Rob came into town for the wedding, and, he knocked on my door at like 5 a.m. I did a frantic scramble to find an air mattress pump. I had the air mattress, but not the pump. So I'm looking high and low. And lo and behold, way up high in the closet in the back was my M Audio micro track recorder, which I had thought was lost for several months now.
Finally found it.
Yeah, I finally found it. It's one of these little portable audio recorders. It's real fancy.
That's awesome. We've been wanting to use that for some like on-location podcast stuff. Maybe down the line people will actually hear that.
Yeah.
So that sounds like some half-decent weeks. So now why don't we turn to the world of geek news for a second. And I'll start with you, Matt. What news story interested you this week?
Well, as a matter of fact, this is fresh from today. I went to the comic book store. It was New Comics Wednesday, which just about everybody should be a part of. It's a wonderful social and literary experience for everyone. While I was there, I picked up the 10th and final volume of Why the Last Man in trade paperback, which collects issues 55 through 60 and completes the collection. Mm-hmm. It's titled Whys and Wherefores. The Last Man, as you recall, of course, Brad, we reviewed it on the show.
Yeah, have you read the issue already?
No, this is fresh. This is today.
Okay. So
I'm looking forward to cracking into it. I'm rarely disappointed in an ending. Whatever the author wants to do is fine.
So this is where we will find out what was killing all the men in society.
Yeah, well, actually, there's already some pretty strong theories by the latter volumes, but I think there's a lot more to find out, which includes whether or not he'll reunite with his girlfriend.
Okay.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Whether or not men will have a prayer of, reappearing on the earth.
Right.
That kind of thing.
So looking forward to that. And what was that called again?
Why the Last Man, Whys and Wherefores. And it's spelled WHYS.
In stores now. Check it out. Very cool.
Moving right along, Brad, you got any exciting news this week?
Yes, I think this is semi-exciting, but Gears of War the movie has a director.
Whoa.
Len Wiseman, who did the Underworld films.
Okay.
If anybody's seen those, Vampire versus Werewolf.
Sure. I wasn't too captivated by them, but nice style, nice texture.
Right. That director is doing Gears of War. So that's confirmed. Also, the writer is going to be Chris Morgan, who penned the new Wanted movie.
Now, Wanted is based off of a comic book.
Right. I guess he just did the adaptation.
Okay.
And that's the Angelina Jolie, Bendy Bullets movie. That should be out here pretty soon.
So this writer, he adapts comic books and games into film.
Apparently. Oh. And interesting because Gears of War, as far as I am concerned, doesn't have a whole lot of story. What do you think? Is it maybe perfect for a video game movie to be shallow and kind of just action-y like Mortal Kombat?
I think it might be all right. I mean, Gears of War, in a way, it reminded me of a modern Contra, even in the way that you really don't get much of the story. You just know there's some aliens and you got to fight them.
Yeah.
The cinema scenes were always like manageably short, unlike Grand Theft Auto 4, if I may weigh in with that contrast. My gosh.
Would you rather them fill in more about Marcus Phoenix and who he is, or would you
I'd rather know less. Yeah, just get into it. That's how I've always wanted maybe an Aliens versus Predator to go also.
Right.
Just start it off and have it go and have as little explanation as possible. Have the people as confused and afraid as possible.
Just sort of jump right in.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that Fox does a lot of their television series and movies like that, and that's their attitude. Just jump right in, get the audience going.
Well, if that's their excuse for never airing the pilot episode of Firefly, then, I rescind my advice.
Yeah, exactly. So that is the Gears of War film.
I think Rob's favorite news story is that New York is having terrible weather.
I guess so.
Yeah,
I think we lost Rob there. Can we get him
high.
back? Hello, Rob. Are you there, Rob?
Wow. And it's not surprising either, because the weather's been pretty crazy all over the United States.
Flooding and things, right?
There is flooding through most of the Midwest. A lot of corn crops are ruined.
Uh-huh.
It means the price of E85 ethanol is going to increase.
The corn gas, right?
The corn gas is going to be going up.
Which I've heard makes a delicious popcorn out of the back of your muffler.
Expect the price of meats and poultry to go up in about 18 months because they ain't going to be feeding these cows and chickens no dang corn.
That's right. And what would Rob say about that? We won't know because he is apparently gone.
He's gonzos.
Hopefully Rob's okay.
Yeah, hopefully he's not underwater.
We
don't know what's happening to Rob, but...
And on the subject, let's get to our main topic this week, M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening. This is the guy that did The Sixth Sense and The Village, Signs.
Unbreakable.
And lately a guy that's had a little trouble getting his films made, which is crazy because of how big of a success The Sixth Sense was. And frankly, I'm a huge fan of his. I assume, Matt, you also.
Yeah, I really like a lot of his work. The Sixth Sense was the first one I saw. Then Unbreakable, more Bruce Willis, this time as like the most realistic depiction of a superhero you might see.
I love that, yeah.
The Village, I did guess the ending.
Oh, okay, yeah, and a lot of people have said that, and we're not going to spoil that.
No, but yeah, I mean, and then Lady in the Water, which I didn't see until much, much later after it had come out, and
right.
I watched it by myself. And I really got into it.
Oh, okay. There's a book that's been written called The Man Who Heard Voices about M. Night's difficulty in getting Lady in the Water made, and he had a hard time selling that script. I actually wasn't very impressed with the movie. I thought it was a little scatterbrained, but because of that difficulty and the box office failure of that movie, he had difficulty getting this newest one, which is The Happening.
Wow.
I think it was about 2 years of trying to get this thing greenlit, and so it finally has been. And here it is. Do you think that this is a return to form for him?
Gosh, I don't know. I gotta say, this is the first time that I was really not thrilled by an M. Night movie. I was kind of let down. It just it didn't pull me in all that much, and then moments of it just felt a little cliche. I kind of felt like it was lazy storytelling, but wow, not a huge fan.
Yeah, I kind of echo that. I guess if I look at them, I've probably been less of a fan of each one of his movies progressively.
Okay.
I thought that Signs was good, but not as good as Unbreakable. I thought that The Village was good, but not as good as Signs. So it's been going sort of steadily downward for me, and this is, as you said, it's uncharacteristically bad for him. And also these actors, I think, are better than this. Mark Wahlberg and Zooey Deschanel are the main actors in it, and I think they've done great things before, but their dialogue is very stiff. I don't know if you caught that in this movie.
The relationship between him and his wife, it doesn't really work. I'm not really that interested in them. And that might be because M. Night gave them this kind of relational conflict for us to decide if we care about, but I really didn't. I guess I would say more interestingly is that John Leguizamo's wife, who you never see,
right?
I was far more interested in what was happening with her. The only major plus in this movie for me, I thought John Leguizamo, as far as actors go, was great.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job as well. I'm optimistic about where M. Night goes from here because, to me, Lady in the Water was his lowest point. Okay. And so I look at this as possibly reversing that bad fate. But I actually thought that the storyline was a decent premise, and I won't mention it too much here, but it definitely kept me guessing.
It's M. Night Shyamalan's first rated-R movie. It's kind of a horror/thriller on the scale of a mass event, not unlike, a disaster movie or a zombie movie or, one of those things where the whole world is suddenly upset.
Right. So I did like that. Again, he's done so much better than this. There's a part in the movie where someone has an iPhone, and they're like, "My God, look what I'm seeing." And then another guy stands up and says, "We've got to get out of here. It's 20 miles. It was so stiff and like...
Oh, yeah, that was strange. It was incredibly stiff. We need to go. We need to go right now. And then everybody just bolts.
I will say also as an upside that M. Night is not in this film.
Well, he is. He makes it into the credits. In this movie, he's nothing more than a voice on a phone saying hello.
Oh, okay. That may be a response to how many people thought that he overkilled himself in his appearance in Lady in the Water.
I didn't mind that at all. I think M. Night Shyamalan is a good actor.
But also a pivotal part of that film. And a lot of people felt that was a little braggadocious.
Well, yeah, but look at the number of Kevin Costner movies where he makes himself the dude. And what's that show, Step by Step? The dad on that wrote every episode, and he's always scoring the chicks. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. Oh gosh, what was that guy's name? Patrick Duffy? I don't know.
Wow, that's a good guess.
Rob doesn't have any text thoughts on that, so I can't say.
I'm gonna say as my final nail in the coffin. My negative for The Happening is that it features strongly the creepiness of an annoying old lady, which I feel is one of the worst horror cliches, because all it really serves to do is make you uncomfortable, and we're all already uncomfortable around bitter old women, but but this is like, come on, it's a cheap trick, it's a gimmick. There's just so many movies that have the angry screaming old lady who's losing her mind, and I'm not spoiling anything by saying this movie has one.
Yeah.
And it's no good.
I thought that scene had some creepiness, especially when a window was involved. I won't give away too much, but it was cliche.
Yeah.
Well, so that's The Happening.
And we don't know what's happening with Rob.
We still don't know what's happening with Rob. He hasn't texted me anything here, but hopefully he's okay. Yeah. And I guess it's just technology goes down sometimes. That's the lesson of this episode. So before we close out our show, we'd like to take that time to, crack open an old issue of Nintendo Power, highlight those cheat codes, and enjoy a little nostalgia. I'm going to throw out some words here, and you tell me what you remember. Long-range microphone. Flip-out binoculars.
SpyTech.
Yes.
You didn't have to go very far at all.
No,
with
well,
that.
I figured the audience
awesome.
might, yeah.
Sunglasses with mirrors on the sides so you can see what's behind you. Ultraviolet.
Ultraviolet invisible ink.
Yeah, which they encourage you to, in the commercials at least, place on the bottom of someone's shoes so you know where they went with your special bulb. But I wonder if that ruined many carpets.
Yeah, I don't know. And so for those who don't know, SpyTech was a toy that was made in the 80s that was designed to let kids spy, basically, on their neighbors or friends. And it included all kinds of cool things. One of them was a hidden camera in a Good and Plenty box.
Nice.
I have to ask, what was happening during our childhood that we needed this level of surveillance?
I don't know what the big movie at the time was or anything, but there's always that appeal of being an agent, even though it ultimately didn't really work that great. The long-range microphone was all right. It was decent.
Yeah.
I also appreciated that it was kind of like non-violent. There wasn't a SpyTech silenced pistol.
No, they didn't take it quite that far, which was appreciated, I'm sure.
Or like a knife in the boot, or a SpyTech poison. Yeah.
The poison dart. It almost makes you wonder if they were going towards that. Because, I mean, seriously, a hidden camera in a Good and Plenty box today might not be taken the same way it was in the, sort of
Yeah.
whimsical, 80s.
I seem to recall that you had this little paperback called, like, How to Be a Detective or something.
I did, yeah. It was all about, like, hidden messages and secret codes and hiding things in, like, bricks, like false bricks
Yeah.
in the side of wall. And that was, like, my Bible for, like, the longest time.
I know,
I remember when I went to grade school, I actually brought, like, invisible ink.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my first day of school, I was bringing all this, like, secret codes and things to, like...
Yeah.
I don't know who I was supposedly hiding secrets from, but
Sure.
there's something about being that guy that has the inside scoop.
Girls and boys like to pass around notes.
Yeah, I always wanted to know what was in those notes that girls passed around, and so I guess SpyTech... I don't think SpyTech ever helped me to discover the secrets.
Well, if they'd had
think,
a tranquilizing, like, dart thing, then you could have just taken the note and read it and given it back.
Right, and just drag the body into the restroom or whatever. This has gone too far. I do remember somebody actually threw ninja stars into the bathroom, and that was, to me, like, epic at the time. It was like, somebody had ninja stars?
You're going to edit this out, but I have a crazy friend who apparently took a piece of poop and wrote the word poop in the bathroom. Yeah. That's not.
He's a literalist, I guess.
He really was. I don't think he realized the magnitude of it.
It was earth-shattering.
It was. And he used a glove. I think the glove really inspired everything else that went along after. He's like, hey, I have a glove. Yeah, but...
Wow. Well, how we got to that somehow, I don't know. But SpyTech was cool. At least it made me feel cool in the 80s. And so that is some nostalgia for this week. If you grew up as a geek in the 80s and have some memories of toys that you played with, send us an email. Our email address is mail@growing-up-geek.com. And we'd love to read it on the show. I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. We don't know where Rob is, but we will touch base with him, make sure he's okay. Once again, my name is Brad.
And I'm Matt.
And unfortunately, Rob is not here to make his quip.
He's been erased from existence.
Exactly. And we will catch you next week.